Hello, Nick. How are you, mate?
Good, Wayne. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, good. So we spent a couple of days working on this bus.
Couple of days.
Yeah, we did all the work, but you went to see the bus and you had a vision. You talked to the customer and what's behind all these changes. He had other appliances and we changed them for different type of appliances.
Yep.
What's behind all that?
So the customer rang me a couple of months ago and he said, look, I've got this big 40-foot American-made bus. It's set up with a 110-volt power system and a gas, hot water and gas heating system. And because of the requirements for Australian gas compliance, neither of those appliances could continue to be used. And like a lot of people who are thinking about converting over to diesel systems, he was of the view that it's better to have one fuel system. To replace the gas appliances with gas in terms of compliance and getting that signed off would be quite tricky. And so, he's got a huge tank of diesel on the bus and it made perfect sense to convert the bus to be running on basically diesel and solar. It's interesting, the bus has a generator in it and we had a bit of a conversation about that, whether he really needs that generator anymore. He's going to keep it, it's there, it works. Once you do the heavy lifting for the hot water and the air heating off diesel, really the only thing he needs the generator for is to run the air conditioning, and with a decent solar system, he can actually run the air conditioning off solar as well. So
yeah, this bus, he would have a long...
Yeah, he's got plenty of roof space for solar. So he sort of said to me, look, come and have a look at the bus. I have a vision to sort of get rid of all the gas, convert it to diesel, run it off one fuel. He also had a requirement for a lot of hot water. He's probably more than you'd normally find. And so we've set up the 40-litre hot water cylinder, which is running off the 5-kilowatt Eberspacher furnace on its own. So that furnace is dedicated to the air heating, to the hot water. And it's not doing anything else. It's not doing air heating. So he's got a huge hot water capacity in terms of both heating speed and reheating. So they can have a really good, almost the same shower you'd have in your house, maybe not quite, but almost the same flow rate and the same sort of feeling shower you'd get in a house. And obviously they can carry a lot of water in this bus, so you can do that. So yeah, you need a lot of hot water. It's a huge space. So he needs a powerful air heater, which is why we went with the Eberspacher D6L. It's the most powerful sort of standard package air heater that Eberspacher are making and that we're supplying here in Dieselheat. And they also had this requirement to be able to cook with diesel. And we started off talking about just the diesel cooker, but he said, well, look, we do spend a fair bit of time plugged into power. He's also got a big battery system and a big inverter. And we had this whole conversation about, look, why don't we look at doing an induction stove and a diesel stove? Because then when you've got plenty of power or you're wanting to fire something up and cook really quickly, the induction is great because they turn on really quickly. But if you want to do a long, slow cook or run the stove for a long period of time where the induction is going to draw a lot of power to the batteries, you can not use the induction. You can instead use the diesel cooker. And it's a great combination. There's another situation where, say, he was plugged into power and using his air conditioners. The air conditioners would be using a fair bit of the available amps. You only get 15 amps when you plug into power at a caravan park, which means there wouldn't really be power available to either be heating the hot water or using the induction cooker. So in that situation, he could run the diesel. In another situation where the sun was shining and had heaps of surplus power, you can use the induction. So, it's an awesome combination having the induction beside the diesel cooker because you can sort of balance your energy and use the energy in a way that it's available and to optimize the way you use it. And of course, we're super lucky because Wallace, who are famous for making diesel cookers, have just brought out an induction cooker as well, and they match each other. And so we're able to put the diesel cooker and the induction cooker beside each other and they actually look like a pair of things that belong together. So that was really the customer's vision. It's been a little bit like a pregnancy and giving birth in terms of getting the install done.
Calling the customer every week, say, hey, maybe
we might need a few more days and a bit longer. There's a lot of detail in a bus this big. There's a huge amount of effort and labour in terms of setting it all up. But, it's probably the biggest single install we've ever done. But we're super happy with the way it's turned out. The air heating's working amazingly. I'm literally standing in the bus in my socks. Because we take socks. My holy socks, because we take our shoes off when we come inside, and the floor's warm on my feet from the air heater. The cookers are running really well, and the diesel furnace is heating the hot water under our feet right now. You can't even hear it. So it's a brilliant outcome after a huge project.
Sounds great. Thank you, Nick.